Hello students. So students, in the previous class, in the chapter that is crop production and management, we had discussed about the agriculture practices and in which we were talking about adding manure and fertilizers. You see, we had understood the importance of adding manure and fertilizers in that of the crop and how it is important for the better growth of the plant. Since manure and fertilizer, it provide the nutrients which is important for the growth and the development of the crop. Now you see, we had discussed that manure is what? It is an organic substance. It is made up of an organic substance. It is obtained from the dead plant and animal waste. So we can say it is an organic substance and it provides the nutrients to the plants. And if we talk about the fertilizers, so fertilizers are the chemical substance that is made in the factories and it is also used for making the giving the proper nutrients to that of the plant. Not only this, we have also understood that what is the difference between that of the manure and fertilizers and why it is important to use the manure even though the fertilizer is it gives a more amount of a nutrient to that of the plants. So we know that manure, it is an organic substance. It is made up of it is prepared by the dead plant and the animal waste and the other organic matter. So it is biodegradable and ultimately it will not going to harm to the soil or to the crop. But if we talk about the fertilizers, fertilizers are the chemical substances and it is made up in factories. It consisting of lot of chemicals. Now excessive use of the fertilizers for the better growth of the crop, that is okay, but it will going to degrade the quality of the soil. So we can say that okay, we should not. So fertilizers, if you look, they are more harmful than that of the using the manure. So better we should use the fertilizers rather than we should use manure rather than fertilizers because they are non-biodegradable and as well as they harm the fertility of the soil also. They degrade the fertility of the soil. Now, let us move on and try to understand that some of the natural method that we have started yesterday to understand that what are the natural method by which we can replenish the nutrients in the soil. So, for that student, we have seen the first one and that is the field fallow. In case of a field fallow, what we have seen that the farmers, if they are not using the manure or any kind of a fertilizers to give the nutrient, so they used to give time to that land so that all the nutrients can be gained by the land and after that they will use the land for cultivation. Okay, so in this method, the farmers, they used to leave the land uncultivated for one or more season. And then what happened due to the plant waste or due to the animal waste or due to some other organic matters which is thrown in that of the uncultivated land, that land will regain its nutrient again. And when it becomes full of nutrient, then the farmer used to grow the crop again in the same field. So field fallow is what? In which the farmers, they used to leave the field uncultivated for a one or more season. Okay, and when it regain the nutrients, then it can be used for the cultivation. Now let us move on and see the another one, and that is crop rotation. The second one is crop rotation. What is a crop rotation here, students? So you see, what is the crop rotation meaning? You can see the name itself says the rotation. So basically what happened here, the farmer, they used to grow the two or more type of a crop in the field alternatively. Okay, like they used to grow the crop, one crop in one season, and then the other crop in the other crop in the other season in the same field. So what will happen? One nutrient which was used by the one particular crop will be replenished or will be maintained by the other crop. Now you can understand it with the help of example. If suppose the farmers, they are rotating the crop, or they are cultivating the wheat crop first in the field. Now wheat crop used to absorb the nitrogen from that of the soil. Okay, but they leave the they used to absorb the nitrogen, but after that in the other season the farmer, they used to cultivate, they used to grow the leguminous plant, and the role of the leguminous plant is to provide nitrogen to the soil. So one is providing nitrogen and another is using it. So this is how they used to maintain the level of the nutrient which can be used further by the another type of crop. And such kind of a method, you can see it is a kind of a rotation. One crop is grown in one season, then the other crop is grown in the next. Then the first one is crop again, then the other one is crop again. So after season by season, one crop is rotated by the other one. Okay, so this is the crop rotation. So let us write about the crop rotations. So in crop rotation, farmers used to change their crops in each season. In each season, so that the soil does not become deficient of any specific nutrient. So that the soil does not become deficient. So that the soil does not becomes deficient of any specific nutrient. Specific nutrients. Okay. So in crop rotation, what happened? The farmers, they used to change their crop in each season, and because of that soil, it does not become deficient of any specific nutrient. We can understand with the help of example of the wheat and the leguminous plant. So you see, student, we can write it. Farmers, for example, we can say farmers grow wheat in one season. In one season, and wheat in one season, and legumes in other season. So this is an example. So basically what happened here, we can say that the wheat used to absorb the nutrient from the soil. It need nutrient for the growth. So wheat get nutrients, get nitrogen from that of the soil, and in the next season, the legumes, they used to provide the nitrogen again to the soil. So the soil does not become deficient of nitrogen. So we can write it here. Here, wheat used to take used to take nitrogen from the soil from the soil and then the legumes in the other season used to absorb used to in the other season, and in the other season the legumes in the other season used to provide nitrogen to the soil again. Okay, so in the crop rotation, students, what happened? One crop is rotated after the other so that the soil will not get the nutrient deficient. So by this, student, this is also a kind of a natural way by which we can maintain the nutrient in the soil easily. First one we have seen, it is that of the field fallow, in which we used to left it uncultivated, the ground, the field, and here we are growing the crop alternatively. We are rotating the crop one after one in a season, and due to which we can say that it will help in maintaining the nutrient in the soil. Okay, so that was about the crop rotation. There is another method, student, by which we can maintain the nutrient. We can help in the replenishing the nutrient in the soil, and that method is the mixed cropping. Okay, now let us see what do we understand by mixed cropping. By the name itself it's explained, like we have seen in case of a crop rotation. So you can see here, student, we are rotating the crop. In one season, one crop, in another season, another crop. Likewise, mixed cropping is also there. So let us write it about the mixed cropping. Mixed cropping. Okay, mixed cropping. What happened in the mixed cropping? By the name itself, it explains about the mixed cropping. So you see, student, here two crops are mixed together. It means the farmer, they used to grow two crops together. What will happen because of that? It means two crops in a row, you can say. Means in one row, one crop, in another row, another crop, or the two crops together. So with the this method, again, if one nutrient is needed by the another one, can be given by the first one. It means if two crops are there, one need the nutrient and which one is provided by the other one, we will use that crop for the mixed cropping. Okay, so by this we are helping in giving the nutrient in the soil. We are making we are ensuring ourselves that there will be no deficiency of a nutrient occur in that of the soil. So we can write it mixed cropping. In this method, two or more crops are grown together. In this method, two or more crops are grown together. Two or more crops are grown together in the same field. So we are growing the crops that are of a two different types, and we are growing them together in the same field. And we used to here we used to see that the crop that we are using, the two crops which we are using for growing, we should choose such kind of a crop that in which one will help in providing the nutrient to the other, which is needed by the other one. So we can write it, that is, the crops are chosen in such a way, the crops are chosen in such a way that if one of the crop that the nutrient needed by one of the crop will be fulfilled by the other one. Okay, will be fulfilled by the other crop. Will be fulfilled by the other crop. Okay. So here students, we have to choose such a two crops in which if one of the crop needed the nutrient, other can fulfill it easily. For example, cotton and groundnut is there. So if the nutrient needed by the cotton and the ground can be fulfilled by each other. So we can write it. The example is a cotton and groundnut. So farmers, they used to grow the cotton and groundnut together for mixed cropping. Okay, together for mixed cropping. Now let us see it what the things we have studied, the natural method for replenishing the nutrient in the soil. So in the first one, student, we have seen the field fallow. What is the field fallow? Field fallow is a method in which the farmer, they used to leave the land uncultivated for some time, and due to which leaving it uncultivated help or giving the field time so that it can regain its nutrient again. Okay, so from that of the animal waste, from that of the plant waste, the field, they gain the nutrient again. Second one is the crop rotation. So it is the method in which we rotate the crop one by one, and it helps in providing the nutrient which was used by the first one, and thus maintaining the balance and thus preventing the deficiency of a nutrient in the soil or a nutrient deficient soil. The third one is the crop rotation. Third one is the mixed cropping. The name itself explains the mixed crop. It means the two crops are together. So here the farmer, they used to grow two or more crops together in a row and in the same field, and it is when we choose the two crops, the crops that we choose, it should be like that one crop will help in fulfilling the need of the nutrient by the other one. Okay, so the example that we used for the mixed cropping, the two crops that the farmers, they used to grow together, that is cotton and groundnut. Okay, so these are some of the natural method by which we are able to provide the nutrient to the soil. Okay, students. So we have seen that yes, the fertilizers and that of the manure, it help in providing the nutrient to the soil. But if we talk that how naturally we can help in providing the nutrient to the soil, so these are the three methods that we had studied right now. Now we will move to the next topic. Now see, next method, is irrigation. Irrigation. So let us try to understand the term irrigation. So irrigation is what, student? First of all, if we talk about the human being. So human being, we need a lot of a thing. We need water, we need oxygen, we need water also, and the other abiotic factors are there, which is also very important for the survival of a human being. The same thing happened with that of the plant also. Plants also depend upon the abiotic factor, and in which one of the factor is the water. You know that the water is very important for the human being, but it is not only the human being which required a good amount of water, but plants also require water. Okay, and if you see that a plant contains about 90% of the plant, 90% of water in it. So providing a sufficient amount of, it is the process by which we provide the sufficient amount of water for the better growth and development of the plant. That is known as irrigation. Okay, so let us write it that like human being, plants also need water. Plants also need water. Now, like that, student, we can also say that plants contains 90% water. In fact, it is the water, in the water, the minerals and the that of the minerals are there. Even the fertilizers that we used to throw, that we used to add in the crop, this will get dissolved in the water easily, and through the water only the minerals and the fertilizers will be absorbed by the plants. Okay, so we can say that water is very important for them. So water is the medium is a medium for the plants by which the plants gets mineral and fertilizers. Minerals and fertilizers. Minerals and fertilizers from soil. Now, not only this, if you look, students, if the soil is dry, if water is not there in the soil, ultimately the plants, the seeds will not going to sprout. It will not going to develop. So for sprouting of the seeds also, for the growth of the root and shoot from that, or we can say for germination of the seeds, water plays a very important role. So you have seen that while sowing the seed, we used to provide water. Otherwise, germination of the seed will not occur. Okay, for proper germination of the seed, water plays a very important role. So we can also write it under dry condition. The seeds do not germinate. The seeds do not germinate. Okay, so we can say that water is important for the proper growth and development of a plant. Okay, development of fruits, vegetable, etc. Okay, so overall we can say it is important for the proper growth of the plant. So we have understood that how water plays a very important role in the growth of the plant. Okay, 90% of water is present in the plant. It is necessary for proper growth of the flower, for the fruits, even for the leaf to perform the process of photosynthesis. As well as it is important because it helps in absorbing the fertilizers and the mineral which is already dissolved in the water. As well as for the germination of the seeds, water plays an important role. So by this, student, we can define the term irrigation also. So let us write with this that what do we understand by the irrigation. This we have understood that how water plays a very important role for the proper growth of the plant. For proper growth of the plant. Now see, irrigation is what? It is a process. What kind of a process? It is a process in which we used to provide water to the crop at a regular interval of a time, or we used to provide the water in the field at a regular interval of a time, so that plant can grow well, or we can say it can develop well. So for proper growth and development, the supply of water at a regular interval of a time, that process is known as a irrigation. Okay. It is a process in which water is supplied at a regular interval of time, in the field for the proper growth and development of the plant. For the proper growth and development of the plant. Okay, so process of providing the sufficient amount of water in the field so that the proper growth and development of the plant can occur. Now, the need of the water by the plant depends upon the different types of the plant. It means different types of a plant, they need a different amount of water also. So we can write it. So the amount of, or the requirement of water depends upon different types of plants, weather condition, and type of soil. And type of soil. Okay, so irrigation process is what is giving the water, and the water for giving for the plant depends upon the type of a soil, weather condition and type of a plant also.